Skyrim is the 5th Elder Scrolls game, so it is the follow-up to Oblivion, which we did in 2006. And here at PAX, we are just letting everybody play it. It's the full game, except for the beginning of it, and we let them step out, do whatever they want. So it's kind of it's a bit nerve-wracking for all of us on the team to watch everybody play it because it's not done yet. And people, they seem to be enjoying it. We have a very, very long line. I don't think anyone's going to beat the game here at PAX. I don't even know if they get to the first dungeon in the 20 minutes they have. We like to start over, so that kind of core idea of what the Elder Scrolls is, be who you want, go do what you want. We try to approach that fresh each time, and people really took to Oblivion, but it was our first game on the 360, on the PS3, and since then, we've gotten a better handle on the hardware, so the way that we can present that world to the player, it's a lot different now. We definitely tinker with the formula each time. The game is very, very hardcore, so we try to do a nice job of layering in that complexity so it doesn't completely overwhelm you at first. And compared to the previous stuff we've done, this game has a lot more content in it. There's a lot more things you can do. So how the game delivers that it's been heavily, heavily tweaked. And we're kind of fortunate that, we want a nice interface for whoever's going to play it, but we don't have to dumb down what we do because we have found we are getting a really big audience just doing what we do, which is making a really, really in-depth virtual fantasy world where you get to do what you want. We want to have the game reward you for what you want to do. So people have this idea of the character that they want to play in their head, and we want Skyrim to deliver on that. So if they're going to decide, I want to be like the ultimate warrior, I'm going to be the ultimate wizard, thief, assassin, all this, I'm going to be the ultimate effing flower picker, whatever you want to do, this game tries to say yes a lot. That we're going to let you do it, there's going to be a gameplay avenue for that, and that the world dynamically is going to kind of shift or react to the kind of things that you're doing. So that's what we kind of go for, and sometimes that just creates a little bit of a mess. The player does this, this, and this we didn't expect, but we think that percentage of time that something gets messy or weird, the payoff because it lets you do all this stuff is greater. So we give up control to the player. We do have thousands of NPCs again. We have 5 big cities, lots of smaller settlements, and we do track for each character how they feel about you. So we will generate little quests for you to make friends with them. And then there are more involved quest lines with the various factions. So that is a big part of the game, and we spend a lot more time on getting that on the screen. So just animating, cooking at a pot, or chopping wood, things that the player can do as well, which become kind of diversions. They're not like core gameplay, but when you're walking by it, it suspends your disbelief that this is a real world, and the things you are doing are real for the time you're spending in the game. We're doing a lot more random elements that are tweaked based on what you've done. In some of the smaller quests, a lot of those are completely random, and then even within some of the other larger quests, there might be elements, what the treasure is, where the dungeon is, that we tweak dynamically or make random. It's like if you go to make friends with somebody, they might say, well, I want you, if they have a kid, we might dynamically decide that that kid has been kidnapped and he's at a nearby dungeon and these bandits have taken him, and the game can kind of search for a nearby dungeon, and then you go rescue that child, bring him back. Those kind of things that before we would heavily script, those can now be dynamic. I think the main thing that excites us and excites people when they actually see it are the dragons. And even though we have all this stuff, when a dragon arrives on the scene, it changes the gameplay for whatever you're doing. They can appear in town, there can be multiple dragons, and that was something that we just didn't have the ability to do before that we're doing now. And really, really excited about how that particularly turned out. 11/11/11, November 11th, PC, Xbox, PS3, and we're just ecstatic at the response and really thankful for all the support that all the fans have been giving us and let us make these big, crazy games. So it's fun.